I mean, one of the other good things I wanted to say was in terms of communicating good things. And one of the initiatives there at Copeland was the texting messaging service to parents. So we use that to tell parents if children are doing really well. And that has gone down reasonably well. When we've looked at that in the focus groups, that's gone down quite well in terms of giving good news as the positive strokes as well as just the negatives. We need you to come in and talk to us about things.
There's a gentleman I know, he was talking about his son. And he'd come home in the evening, have you done your homework? And the son would say no. So go and do your homework. And the son would go by the table. And he'll be miserable and he'll be struggling through. While the dad sits in front of the television, relaxed, flicking through the channel. Then he realized, he looked across and he saw how miserable his son was. And he got up and started helping him and started to interact. And his child just changed, his whole learning thing changed and he was more involved because his dad was there helping him through.
What the parents have noticed is that the students who are doing best are those from Asian families.
What are they doing that we're probably not doing? Because our children attend the same schools. So we can't say it's the school's fault because Asians are doing so well, yet Afro-Caribbean children are not doing as good as they are doing, and they're attending the same school. So there's something happening at home that probably we need to investigate. And I think that's where probably the answer is.
So maybe look at the whole culture,
That's
look
right.
at the bigger picture of how it works.
Yeah.
And, you know, in terms of a lot of the Asian families have a better support network at home in terms of the kids. You know, I know my daughter's got a friend in her class and the parent actually tutors for the other kids 1 day a week. She's not a qualified teacher, but they get the books and they sit them down. What we are trying to do is good and it is getting better. It will just take time. The support network is coming into place. We are starting to support each other.
The message is parents should get involved with the school and with their sons or daughters. And if you develop that sort of relationship, it will work.
But has this strategy of targeting parents produced results?
We've just analysed our achievement data in Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4, and still the Asian Indian children are achieving the highest results at Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4. But through checking carefully on the Caribbean students and the African students, their trends are getting better. They're not as high as they should be, but we're going in the right direction.
At Culverstone, teachers have also found that communicating practical skills to black parents works.
I'm a keen believer in demystifying learning as much as I possibly can. So I take every opportunity I can when I meet with parents to try and make sure we're speaking about the same language. If someone isn't doing well in reading, what can you do? Where is it we want to take them on? Simplifying it. We feel that actually works.
I do think the black community needs to take responsibility. We need to put up our hands and say, now these are our children, we need to own them, we need to make some sacrifices for them in order to shepherd them in the right way.
Forest Hill has tried a different approach. Instead of targeting individuals, they've developed a project for all black boys to improve their learning, thinking and communication skills. From Year 7 through to Year 11, they're taught separately for 1 lesson a week.
We wanted entitlement. It was very important for us that we weren't just doing targeted interventions because we wanted it to go to all students. So there was a big debate, should we give 20 students a lot of it or should we give all of the students a little bit? And we decided that we would go with entitlement. And I suppose that makes the project quite unique because we give it to everybody. And I feel that that has been successful because it stops the others, it stops the rest of them thinking that there's something wrong with me. Do you know anyone in your life who you might think is a successful person? Courtney?
My uncle.
Your uncle, why?
Because he done well in school and university.
Okay.
The aim of this Year 7 lesson is to get the boys to think long-term about where they're going in life and what skills they'll need to get there.
Okay, Reese.
My brothers. Both my brothers now went to school, and one wants to be an architect, and another one wants to be a physiotherapist.
Okay, David.
My brother he's still going to college, but my brother played football for Chelsea, and the reserves as well, and he just still learns as well. He goes back and forwards.
What about you, Bruno?
My mum.
Okay, tell us about your mum.
Because as soon as she came to this country, yeah, she started to study, and now she's a hairdresser. So,
what does success mean to you when you hear the word? What does it mean for you? What does it suggest to you?
What does it suggest to me? So I must I must pass and everything to success.
So you see success as something that you have to have qualifications for?
Yeah.
What do successful people, what are they like? What qualities do they have to be successful? Aaron? Haven't heard from you, Stephen? Yes, Ramel. They had to have good grades, okay? They had to have good grades.
You have to achieve the thing.
Good. Success for you means achievement.
You achieve to get better jobs and more important than just normal shops, like a street shop.
Okay. Don't tell.
I was gonna say choices you have to make.
Tell me about the choices.
Tell
me about the choices you're gonna make.
Say for instance, a young black Caribbean, and he's got his friends and he's really bad. He has to make a choice whether he wants to become someone in life or just be ghetto on the street with his friends.
Absolutely. It's about giving them the confidence and the self-esteem to feel proud of themselves. It's also about giving them that knowledge that they need to have, the knowledge base, in order to understand themselves. As Malcolm X says, if you don't know your history, you don't know where you come from, and you don't really know where you're going. I think it's absolutely important for them to become more powerful. And my role, I see it, is to make them more powerful within the institution. Rather than have things acted out on them, they become the people who take charge and actually understand why they're here.
The project is called ACE, Achievement, Commitment and Excellence. Higher up the school, it focuses on practical learning skills. These Year 11 boys say it's helped them a lot.
It's given me lots of revision techniques, and it's helped me along the way to think about further education and what I want to do in my life.
Black people were associated with negativity towards school and crime maybe out of school, but here we can come and join together and discuss those stuff openly.
I want to prove the statistic wrong about how black people are underachieving and they're not succeeding with education, and they just drop out of school and go on the roads and just roam about and commit crime. So I reckon it made me want to achieve higher grades and be successful in the future.
Aaron's future has been transformed by the ACE project. He's now studying A-levels at Forest Hill, but his early school career was disastrous.
I'd come from a centre because I was kicked out of my previous secondary school, and I had thought studying was just coming to school was just a thing that I had to do. I didn't particularly enjoy it at the time. Also, because I had come from kicked out from my previous school and I'd come here, I just assumed that the teachers didn't like me at all, and that didn't give me any motivation to study harder. And then I was hanging around with the wrong people that was in the same situation as me, basically. Teachers didn't like them, they was really bad, and they wasn't focused on study at all. So studying just wasn't my thing. Now I love it. I love studying. I'm dedicated to it. It drives me because I know at the end of it, I'm going to get something out of it. Also, it kind of makes me different. I feel that it makes me different to a lot of other young black males in the sense that I'm staying in, I'm doing A-levels, and I'm striving to go to university. And I like that.
When we talk about icons, I'd say people like Nelson Mandela.
As part of the project, older boys like Aaron come and talk to the younger ones and act as mentors.
White people. Next week, Daniel Aziz is going to come in. He's going to come in and talk to you about himself, about his studies, about himself as a pupil in this school.
Copeland has also used older boys as role models, inviting them to parents' evenings.
You know, the young boy that came to say he's gone off to Cambridge was dressed as a normal young boy.
Yeah.
When he came up, I thought, who is that young boy going up there? But do you know what I mean? That's perception, you know, and that was incorrect on my part. I was like, ooh. And then when he said he's at Cambridge, I thought, do you know what? This boy should go around and speak to all those young boys in latest Timberlands or the latest jeans down here, because you can still look cool and be educated, you know.
Who I used to hang around with, I don't hang around with them at all now because I'm just on a different level to them, in the sense that they want to do drugs and stuff like that. I'm not interested in that. I understand the importance of study. I understand what is needed of me. I understand that I need to conform, basically. To do well, I have to conform. But it's not like it's a burden that, you know, you have to do it. It's more that I enjoy doing it, so I can do it. But I do understand that I need to conform. I do understand I need to respect teachers. I do understand that I need to have a good relationship with teachers. And all of that, I would say, I've learned through the ACE project.
In this film, we've looked at how 3 different schools have each found their own solutions to help black boys to achieve. At Culverstone, early intervention improves behaviour and encourages boys to begin to think about their own futures.
We've got our 3 beakers.
At Copeland, black teachers do make a difference, but the key is also persuading black parents to become more involved. At Forest Hill, all boys benefit from a space of their own in which they can talk freely. None of these is an ad hoc initiative. They're all the result of leadership and planning.
What is required in schools to raise achievement of any group, but I would argue with particular reference to black pupils, and in particular black boys, is that it requires, first of all, a whole school approach, where the head teacher is actually committed to changing the situation for these pupils in the school. And it has the courage and conviction to take the whole school along with her or him. Secondly, it requires proper planning. It cannot just be done. A lot of people argue it's all about good teaching and learning. Well, I would argue that boys get good teaching and learning, but boys are underachieving. It requires good teaching and learning and more. But in order to know what the and more is and to be able to carry it through, you need to plan, you need to be focused, you need to do it whole school.
But the 3 projects all have something else in common. They're trying to instill self-confidence and help each boy to find his own vision for the future.